Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
ANCHORBABY.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I'm the American Anchor Baby. This is my show. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to get into it here. Got a few things I want to get into. Of course, that and your calls, 888-775-3773. Let's jump into some stuff here. But before that, let me just say, hit me up over there on Rumble, rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Drop that subscribe here on YouTube. And stay in touch with what we're up to, what I'm up to here on the channel. Welcome, Heather Cliff. Is that a new name? Welcome. And everybody else. I see you in the chat. Very nice. So, let me pull up my show here. Yeah, welcome. How you doing? How you doing Wednesday? Nice show today on JLP and Hake. Holding it down while Jesse's away, right? So let's get into some stuff here. I got a show planned for you guys. Pile on in and hit the like Stephen Will says. Great. Thank you very much. So it's over. It's over for anchor babies. I've been saying this. They're heeding my suggestions. The leaders are, at least. It's over. Sorry, anchor babies. Bye-bye. I'm talking about anchor babies like myself and the solution to the anchor baby question. Okay? And Matt Gaetz, representative out of Florida, Republican, has joined the call, has joined a few others in this call to end what is called birthright citizenship. Okay? The very rule and law that gave me, the American Anchor Baby, my citizenship. Bully Seasal says, why did the laws change? Okay, maybe not just quite yet, but we're getting there. We're marching towards the end of birthright citizenship. Like I said, Matt Gaetz, Republican, Florida, joined the call recently. You've heard similar calls to the end of birthright citizenship coming from DeSantis and Trump and others, I think. But yes, they've joined this call to end birthright citizenship. Gaetz introduces legislation to end unqualified birthright citizenship. Like I said. In this bill, titled the End of Birthright Citizenship Fraud Act of 2023, it would amend the Immigration and Nationality Act to reflect the original intent of the 14th Amendment, subject to the jurisdiction thereof clause, according to a statement on the measure. So, we're talking about the 14th Amendment, okay? Which has been used to grant citizenship to all persons born in America on U.S. soil, okay? Like you heard in the intro, Jesse saying his mama, my mama, right before she was about to have me, jumped over the border, dropped me in America, and I became the anchor baby. Although that's not quite accurate in my specific particular story, it's good enough, right? It's close enough. But this is a change that people have been calling for. The media calls GAETZ and Trump and DeSantis as the most far right for even suggesting this, that they're very radical and far right, which is interesting language. It reminds me of Hassan and something he said on the Hake Report, that there really isn't a real far right. There doesn't really exist a far right. This is a pretty, if you think about it, pretty reasonable position. It's a pretty reasonable position. I'll explain to you in a moment here why. The 14th Amendment. At least the position that GAETZ and others have taken. But it's true. There is no real far right to get the conversation going. They'll call sensible things like this far, far right. There is no true far right to really bring the Overton window and bring it towards topics that are taboo. Okay? Just something I've noticed. But the 14th Amendment has granted this citizenship, okay? And this amendment was passed in 1866. It was after the Civil War. And even the liberal media agrees that this was to ensure citizenship and equal rights for formerly enslaved people. The liberal, the media, mainstream media, on this topic, they say that it was to ensure the citizenship of formerly enslaved people. Okay? And so they're really just correcting a misinterpretation of the law, kind of like the Roe v. Wade thing. Or more accurately, in Roe v. Wade is a misapplication of the law. And so they undid that with throwing out Roe v. Wade. They undid that misapplication and let the states do their thing. They're trying to correct this 14th Amendment misinterpretation as well. Because as it stands, should you be a foreigner who enters the country, like Jesse explained in the intro, and you have a child, you're pregnant, at the last moment, the child is born in America, it is an American citizen, and privy to all the privileges and rights, and yet none of the responsibilities that come with being a citizen. We're going to get into that, okay? So GAETZ has introduced this legislation, and I think it's great, personally. An anchor baby against anchor babies, yes. Right is still right. It doesn't matter what situation you may be in. North is still north. A shout out to Thomas Clarence, the affirmative. This just came to me. The affirmative action Supreme Court judge. Some might call him that. You know, they're mad at Thomas for going along with the white man and getting rid of affirmative action when you're accusing him of bringing up Clarence Thomas. What did I say? Thomas Clarence? What did I say? Clarence Thomas. And accusing him of bringing up the ladder that helped him get up there and not letting others in. I think a silly justification of their own failure, a silly way of justifying the evil of affirmative action. So I'm reading this legislation that's being promoted, that's being proposed by GAETZ here, and a couple of interesting things here. GAETZ introduces legislation to end unqualified birthright citizenship, says Yahoo. They name it unqualified, which I find interesting, because isn't all birthright citizenship through this, if you're not a slave, there's no slaves anymore, right? They got their birthright citizenship. It's done. Isn't everything beyond that unqualified birthright citizenship? And here in the Yahoo News article it says, it's not clear if the removal of birthright citizenship can happen through legislation. Kind of implying that they need to make new laws to undo this. Implying that it's naturally there, but it's originally a misinterpretation of the law. So you're really undoing stuff, not adding to it. Kind of an unclear look at the whole situation, which is kind of common with the media and all that. It's a common, conclusion, wrong conclusions made out of weird, wrong history. And so the whole thing is kind of viewed wrongly. You got people at MSNBC pretending like they're smart and they know what they're saying, talking about this very same thing, birthright citizenship. They got this one. He looks like one of those. They get these black people on MSNBC and stuff where they're all like looking real, clean and sharp, and they sound smart, and they usually have afros, and but they're off the deep end, communists and liars. Some of the most egregious lies are with these black intellectuals, academics on these news programs. Okay, let me show you one of them. Let me show you one in particular. Here's one of these intellectuals on MSNBC with the afro of communism, the yet-to-be gray afro of communism. What's up with all these gray afroed people and communists? I'm thinking of one is running for president, isn't he? What is it? Cornel West? Cornel West and the gray afro of communism. It encroaches on America as it marches forward to take away, to destroy America. Let's watch this clip here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I got one particular clip here about birthright citizenship. So one person disagreeing with DeSantis in particular. Oh, no. Or did I just mute it? My apologies. Oh, good thing it wasn't a technical issue. I had just simply clicked on the little mute button. Great. Oh, not great. Not great. Oh, no worries. It's still not a technical issue. I had something else muted. Okay, let's watch the footage.
2 days later, have a child, and somehow that's an American citizen. That was not the original understanding of the 14th Amendment.
First of all, yes, it was. The 14th Amendment is very clear that if you are born in the United States, you are a citizen. Secondly, Republicans can't have this both ways. Whenever someone brings up the language of the Second Amendment, which was written when it was faster to beat someone up than it was to actually shoot them, Republicans freak out and talk about how sacred the language of the Constitution and Bill of Rights is. But all of a sudden, when it comes to the 14th Amendment, it's not sacred and you can change it how you see fit. So which is it? It's either sacred or it's not sacred. Personally, I don't think they're all that sacred. Times change, countries change, and so should the laws that govern them. So if Republicans want to propose changes to the 14th Amendment, they're not allowed to get upset when people propose changes to other ones.
It's so, the lying that comes out of this conversation from the mainstream media, and I know you know this already, but sometimes seeing these lies is incredible, just how far they go with it. Just him saying, just totally ignoring original intent with this whole situation. And it's so easy for them to just say a lie like that. He's saying that it clearly states that. It clearly states that in the language. And what does it say? What is the text here? The text of the 14th Amendment. My apologies. He had it here. Hold on. I had it right here. The text of the 14th Amendment. It states, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Okay. But ignoring original intent and just, I imagine it's this kind of stuff that gets people so mad when you shouldn't be mad. But just this kind of lying, it gets people going. You can see why people get so mad and at these lies. It's so out there. They go really far with it. Okay. And so all this talk about birthright citizenship, in my opinion, it might not even go far enough, okay? Because there's all this talk about, okay, well, we'll undo birthright citizenship going forward, but you still have all these people here, right? Here illegally, here they for the wrong reasons. They started the whole thing off wrong. They kicked it off on the wrong foot, and they go on to raise children. And it's a mess. And so everyone talks about, oh, correcting the evils of the past and stuff. Oh, slavery, reparations and all that. Stuff that's so far away we can't even make sense of it. Well, this is actually one of those things that's actually doable. Okay? And what I'm talking about is not only ending birthright citizenship, but really closing up the borders and cleaning house, figuring things out. I say sometimes retroactively remove the citizenships of the people who got them through this misinterpretation of the law. Okay? Some say that's crazy. That's a little too far. But personally, that people assume, the thing is in these conversations, people assume what's going to happen. Well, you do that, and that next is the rounding up. They're going to round up the anchor babies and throw them in cages, throw them out of the country. It's all an assumption, right? That doesn't mean that's going to happen. But at least you will correct the initial lie, and then you can let the Americans decide what to do. That doesn't mean they're just going to throw them all out, right? Doesn't mean that's gonna the night of long knives or something like that. Just suddenly rounding them up. Don't assume what's gonna happen. Just correct the lie. Do the right thing. Let the Americans choose what to do. And if you're good guests, they might let you stay. But it can't be this entitlement that's going on. It's so wrong. It's causing all this fracturing. Don't wait for someone else to be right. Just be right. Am I making sense here? And if they don't let you stay, why would you want to be in a place that you're not wanted in? Okay? If they don't let you stay, why would you want to stay? Oh, Nick, but they're going to kick you out. You may not believe me, but honestly, then so be it. I've been fine up until this point. I've moved around America. I grew up in Miami. We moved to Canada, and it's a mess. There should be a little stability, and you should build up where you live, where you are. But that's how my life went, and I've been fine. Looking back, God had my back, and he will continue to do so. And that's the mentality I think the anchor babies should have. Okay? An understanding mentality. Okay? Because a nation is made up of the people. Okay? The people make it up. And on this land, the Americans, through the tussle of history and all that, a little inspiration from God, they came here. And changing the people will change the nation. Okay? And we have major entitlement going on right now. Major entitlement, handouts, all sorts of groups, blacks, women, all sorts of people. Victim white people say, oh, woe is me, I can't make it. Angry at this or that group. I think personally the most egregious is foreigners literally just showing up and demanding stuff. They deserve this, they deserve that. And that is, in my opinion, that same entitlement has gone the farthest in them in this whole situation. You remember this video, these immigrants just with their hands out. This video went viral of these illegal immigrants in Chicago demanding paid training and free housing. You've already seen this, I'm sure. But this is exactly what I'm talking about.
El terrorismo, la discriminación. Necesitamos de su ayuda, necesitamos ayuda para los niños.
He says terrorism at the beginning of this. El terrorismo, I don't know if he's saying we're being terrorized.
Meses en un refugio donde sufrimos el terrorismo, la discriminación.
Okay, no, they're refugees and they're coming from a place where they suffered terrorism, is what he's saying. We need your help. We need help for the kids. Health care. We're sick. There's a lot of trash. A lot of rotten water, he says. Agua podrida. We're bad. We're not doing so hot. That's why we're here now. But a lot of people are doing so hot, man. And so it just creates more division and anger. And people look at them and they'll be like, how dare you? And then they look at the people here and they say, how dare you? Feeling entitled. And the fight continues. It's wild. But nobody wants to at least, say sorry. Say, you know what? This is wrong. And then let the chips fall where they may. Okay? Because here's the problem. Here's what's going on. Here's the problem where and it seems like the world at large doesn't see this as a problem. Let me show you a little picture here. This is an image of an ad. It seems like some kind of ad or public service announcement of some sort. I can't really make sense of it, but it's in Germany. And it's in German, and it shows a woman, it looks like it's some woman in a mask, and she's wearing like some kind of nightgown. Sorry, not a nightgown, but like those gowns they give you when you go to the hospital. Okay, so it's this cartoon, this drawing of a woman. She's wearing a mask, and she seems to be holding an organ in her hand, and she's stabbing it with a scalpel. It's unclear what organ this is, but I think we can glean from the caption of the image, which reads, "My bloodline ends with me. Mein Blutlein endet mit mir." And I might be pronouncing that horribly, but let me show you the image I'm talking about. My bloodline ends with me. Shows this image here, and so you can glean and maybe assume that she's stabbing a uterus. It's unclear the artistic expression that's going on here. What could it mean? What could it mean? Mine bloodline dead. Is there any other group in the world? Is there any other group except, I guess, like asexual people who call themselves asexual? I guess maybe the anti-natalist movement. Yeah, there's people out there who believe in not having children. That's wrong. What other group than white people are saying this? And there really is nobody saying, whoa, this is wrong. Hey, something's wrong with white people. Something's wrong with you people for saying my bloodline ends with me and having such self-hatred. Something's going on with them. We should show them love. Hey, what's going on? But no, this is just a normal ad. Whatever. I don't know if anybody sees it, but it's psycho. And it's only white people. It's totally psycho. Hold on, I'm trying to move this thing here. Just kind of something I've noticed. Is this German? Is she a feminazi? Yeah, it's German. In what world is that okay? In what world is that justified okay and nobody says anything? Germans can be really hit or miss. The first anchor baby was Chinese? Did you know that? The first anchor baby patient 0, the start of the pandemic. United States versus Wong Kim Ark. Did you know about this? I didn't know about this. Wong Kim Ark and the landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court, which basically enabled this whole birthright citizenship thing, because it wasn't happening when it was first around. When it was passed in 1868, it would take America all the way till 1898 before a U.S. Supreme Court decision made it so that every race, everybody would, anybody who had a child here in America would be granted citizenship. It was a decision between the United States versus Wong Kim Ark, who was born of Chinese parents, a San Francisco resident born there, denied re-entry into the United States after a trip abroad, okay? And so he challenged the government's refusal to recognize his citizenship, okay? And so Anchor Baby Patient Zero, Wong Kim Ark. I'm trying to show you a little video here. And what's amazing about this video, kind of like that MSNBC guy, a total ignoring of some interesting historical moments, right? Facts, as I almost cringe at saying historical facts. We all know how history is. But Wong, in this video here, it's from the New York Historical Society. Wong Kim Ark's Fight for Birthright Citizenship. And it's titled Our Composite Nation, which is which is a call to the melting pot status of the United States, that we are a composite nation, which is not exactly a lie, at least not now. But let's get into this video here. Anybody knew about Wong Kim Ark, or is this your first time hearing about it? Anchor Baby Patient Zero. Let's play this footage.
The 14th Amendment to the Constitution established that any person born in the U.S. was automatically a United States citizen. But it took the courage and determination of one man, Wong Kim Ark, to ensure it was applied to all people, regardless of their race or ethnicity. Born to Chinese immigrant parents in the early 1870s, Wong grew up in California at a time of economic depression, unemployment, and unrest. It was a period of growing anti-Chinese sentiment in the United States.
And they always set it up like this. Growing friggin' Wong Kim Ark. It's always like the growing they were so hateful. The civil rights movement stuff is always like this as well. They were just so hateful. We had to do something. And they in this video and in any stuff you read about Wong Kim Ark, it's expressed as this grassroots, he's just a guy trying to get back into America. That's all it was. And so he decided to challenge America. One man against the U.S. government and all the racism. He took it on. One man takes it on. But it's not quite true. Just a little digging. Here's a picture of Wong Kim Ark. AAPI, Anchor Baby. There he is. But we learn that it's in fact not just one man against the U.S. government, but Wong Kim Ark was helped by what was known as the Six Companies, also known as the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association. And the thing is, it's not so tiptoe, it's not so grassroots and natural, but there's a little bit of communist influence. Is this conspiratorial? I don't know too much. But there seems to be some communist influence in this whole thing. Kind of planned, if you will. Kind of reminds me of the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King. All that stuff didn't quite go down like this natural grassroots movement. No, there were powerful organizations with money and agendas involved. Okay, think Rosa Parks. Think Rosa Parks and the famous bus moment. Oh well, it was just Rosa Parks wanting to sitting where she wanted, but it turns out that it was planned. An organization was behind the whole protest with an agenda. You can look it up.
Many Americans feared that an influx of Chinese immigrants threatened their jobs and livelihoods. In 1882, the U.S. government passed the Chinese Exclusion Act, halting nearly all Chinese immigration. Existing Chinese communities lived under state and local laws that limited their job opportunities and faced the constant threat of violence from those who wanted to intimidate them into leaving the country. As a U.S. citizen,
I heard, and this is, I can't confirm, massacre of Chinese immigrants thing, not unlike some of the interactions between what's it called? You could say the natives, atrocities on both sides. Tulsa, they say Tulsa, Black Wall Street. These white people just came and started burning up Black Wall Street and killing black people. No, it was mutual combat. A lot of these cases you'll find is mutual combat, not so one-sided like they say.
From those who wanted to intimidate them into leaving the country. Including the right to travel
here's the
should have enjoyed the freedoms that citizenship afforded, including the right to travel internationally. In 1890,
here's the lie.
As a U.S. citizen.
So, as a U.S. citizen by birth, Wong should have enjoyed the freedoms that citizenship afforded. But hold on, this is that fake history. Wong at the time had not gone through his little thing, which gave him his little legal battle, and the Supreme Court made that decision. This had not happened yet. So to say that as a U.S. citizen by birth, he should have enjoyed anything, well, that wasn't happening. Wong was anchor baby patient zero. Weren't you listening? It's just a lie of history. Assuming, right, this was before the legal troubles. Assuming that he should have enjoyed these freedoms.
By birth, Wong should have enjoyed the freedoms that citizenship afforded, including the right to travel internationally. In 1890, he took his first trip to China, where he married a Chinese woman and started a family.
What? Anyways.
He returned without incident.
Not very American.
But when Wong returned from a second visit in 1895, a U.S. customs agent detained him. The agent believed Wong could not be a United States citizen because of his race and the fact that his parents were immigrants.
Correct. His parents were both, according to U.S. Solicitor General Holmes Conrad. This is who they're talking about, this officer here, who disagreed and appealed this case all the way to the Supreme Court. He was saying that he was not a U.S. citizen because his parents were Chinese persons and subject to the Emperor of China. And by extension, Wong was also a Chinese person and subject to the Emperor of China. Now I understand he was born in San Francisco, grew up there. You could say, well, Nick, what is really that Chinese about him? What is really that Chinese about him? He grew up in San Francisco. He's like anybody else. And I know a lot of people out there can relate to that statement. And I think that statement holds a lot of truth to it. There's a lot of people, Chinese, Mexican, whatever, they grew up in this country. They're pretty, they don't have this allegiance to China. But at the same time, what's Chinese about Wong Kim? Well, he goes off and he marries a Chinese woman. And the thing is, Chinese parents create Chinese children. Doesn't matter where you go. Okay? And they may adopt certain things from the country they're in, creating a little bit of a schism, a rift that may cause trouble. But at the same time, Chinese parents make Chinese children. You see what I'm saying here? Anyways, that's the story of Wong Kim, the first anchor baby. I didn't know this. Maybe you found that interesting. But I found that interesting. The first anchor baby, we got to talk about him, right? I mean, I'm an anchor baby myself. So what else about this? Wong Kim, real quick, about to finish this off here. The thing is about these rights you get as a citizen. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. Okay. And the Supreme Court, back with the Wong Kim stuff, they concluded that the phrase I just read referred to being required to obey U.S. law. Okay. Subject to the jurisdiction thereof, meaning you're required to obey U.S. law. And the thing is they don't. I had a friend who had to do jury duty recently. And it was an interesting point he made, how there's all these illegals here. And they don't have to do the responsibilities that everybody else does. Jury duty being one of them. They don't have to do all that. And meanwhile, the citizens here, they have to go and spend their day. That's a working day they got to spend and they get paid nothing. And they go and they do their duty to do jury, and then they preside over cases, sometimes of people who shouldn't be judged by a jury of their peers. People who shouldn't even be here. So these rights, they come with responsibilities that they don't even have to follow, okay? And I am torn with this whole history thing here because there is so much we don't know, And there's a phrase that this video, I didn't really want to watch the rest of it, but it ends with a phrase, and the phrase is, Wong reshaped what it means to be an American. And the thing is, I spoke about these communist forces that were aiding Wong, and we talk about the changes in public perception to immigration and how people don't know what it is to be American. It's become this nebulous definition, and the impression I get sometimes is that it was inflicted, okay? Evil forces made this happen, and I think that's somewhat true. But also, the definition, it really, like, it has changed. Like, it really has changed because America has changed, and I'm not saying that's a good thing. The eroding effect of time and the turbulent clashing of different peoples, it has changed what it means to be an American. Or, to be more accurate, Americans, the Americans that were here, allowed it to be changed. They kind of let it happen. My point being that you can't really be mad that it's changed because it really has changed. But instead, you can remember what it really meant and then kind of move forward. Does that make sense? You can't really be mad because it really has changed. People really allowed it to. Your own neighbors will say, well, anyone could be American. Anyone could call themselves an American anchor baby. So, you know, it's kind of a mess and an opportunity to reflect and consider what it means, what that actually means. Because they've tried to make it this nebulous thing. Anybody can do it. The border itself is nebulous. Okay? But right on with this, Matt Gaetz, Trump, the anti-anchor baby club, it grows, it continues to grow. Maybe one day they'll be as far right as me on this. I'm just here trying to push that Overton window, right? Should y'all kick me out? Well, I bid you adieu. I did my best. God gave me the heart of an American, meaning I just fight for what's right because it's just the right thing to do. It's just, are you right or wrong? And so I will, in my time here and how I ended up here, will try and use it correctly, right? And all that. And all that. I felt like I had something else there, but whatever. Anyways, let's move on here to something else because it's, speaking of disarray. Speaking of disarray, we need to wake up here, get excited. We need clips. We need excitement. We need excitement. Chat, watch this insane clip. What is going on in the world? Let's watch this crazy clip. We need excitement. We need footage. We need bombs. We need we need smoke. You know what I love? You know what I really, really love? I kind of like it when a lot of people die. You guys ever seen that George Carlin? George Carlin, comedian. He's dead now, I think. George Carlin has that bit on. He kind of likes it when a lot of people die. And no, I'm not kidding. A funny set. I find it funny. He was an atheist. No, he was an atheist. He had a lot of comment. He had a lot of jokes against the Christians, against those that believe in God. Made fun of them, but still was quite honest in some of those bits. He would say that everyone's a liar at a funeral. How do you know they're going to heaven? But he came at it from it felt like a little, like he had a gripe against, a bone to pick with the religious. But he was still funny while he was doing it. You know the best thing I can hear on television? We interrupt this program. You know the worst thing I can hear? No one was hurt. I'm always rooting for a really high death toll. That's George Carlin doing his bit. But yeah, we need excitement, right, chat? We need excitement. We need smoke and fire. What's going on over here?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, sorry, there's swearing maybe. Whoa! Six injured in New York City crane collapse. Very wild. Freak fire. One of the including 4 civilians, suffered minor injuries in a crane collapse. Incident occurred at a construction site where a fire broke out and caused this. Very wild stuff. Blaze erupted while the crane operator was lifting about 16 tons of concrete. The operator noticed the fire in the crane's engine and tried to extinguish it, but was overwhelmed by the flames. Wild stuff, but is this just Mad Max New York? Disarray on display? Out of control? We can't seem to maintain... We can't maintain the city. We can't maintain America. You know what I mean? But you think I could top that? You think I could top that? Yeah, I think I can. There is a woman. Here, let's watch this. Because I think I can even top this one. Naked woman, armed with gun, threatens random victims on Bay Bridge. Hold on. You didn't think I could top it. But we got this. Oh, Lord. You didn't think I could top it, but I got this. Segue into clip.
They're on the Bay Bridge today after a driver gets out of their car, naked, waving around a gun. Our first Teresa Estacio reports now on what happened next.
Here's what we're learning. The CHP says that around 4:30, they received multiple 911 calls about a driver driving recklessly on the eastbound section of the Bay Bridge. Here's some video we received into the newsroom. In addition to the reckless driving, callers say that the driver was waving a gun around. The woman got out of her car and started walking around the freeway just past the toll plaza. At one point, the woman was waving around a knife and started yelling at drivers in other vehicles. The CHP says that she then got back into her car and headed toward the toll plaza. Traffic.
They're really not showing it too. Too bad. The real footage I definitely can't show you, but I thought they would at least have it like blurred and she's shooting. But you know, it's like an actual naked woman. She's a black lady walking down the highway, waving her gun, just shooting it, waving it at people passing by. I mean, someone should have rammed her. She was a danger to the public, but then probably the person who would ram her would get in trouble and go to jail. It's the disarray that's going on right now. One last one here on the disarray. This one, you know, oh, that's crazy, that's wild. Well, this one's actually a little serious. San Francisco business owner speaks out after assault by a homeless man. This guy's done. This guy's done with what's going on, and a lot of people probably feeling like this.
What's going on, everyone? This is Peterson with Sandy's. I just got punched in the fucking face right now by some guy that was pissing on the street. And I'm really fucking pissed off right now. I can't believe I live in a city where people can just piss on the street and come punch you in the fucking face and get away with it. Guy just ran off. They're probably not gonna find him. I'm fucking fed up with this goddamn city. It's like, I can't just be outside and just running a fucking business without getting punched in the goddamn face. So, I'm pissed off right now. I'm really fucking pissed off right now. I don't know. I just need to vent and I gotta figure out what to do, but this is fucking bullshit. Like, it shouldn't be this way at all. Like, this isn't how our city should be.
Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have used the quack sounds. Maybe I'm infantilizing him a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't have used the quack bleeps to bleep out all the cussing. But that's what's going on, guys. And you can't even have a... Okay, stop with the quacks. You don't have to... Okay, quacks in the chat. You guys are... Okay, guys. This is serious. This is serious. This guy's going through a real problem here, okay? You guys are quacking in the chat. You guys are just quacking in the chat. It's ridiculous. Okay, where's the decorum? Where's the? Well, come on, guys. All right, enough quacks in the chat. I'm just making them quack more. It really is Oh, geez. Going off with the quacks. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have used the quack. Not trying to infantilize it, but it's serious. Okay, San Francisco business owner, physical assault, Peterson Harder, owner of Sandy's Mufuletas. What is a mufuleta? Mufuleta? What's a mufuleta? Wow, it's a type of sandwich. It's a serious type of sandwich, too. They're not playing around with them sandwiches in San Francisco. Well, I don't know where this originates. I know I'm derailing the show, but this is important. Mufuleta, you take a gander at the mufuleta before you. This is Google Images. We are looking at probably, is this King Sandwich here? What beats a mufuleta? What's going on here? Dang. People out here with crazy sandwiches. That's major sandwich action. But on a serious note, really not trying to infantilize this guy, okay? Okay, look. It's just this is where we at. Does it need commentary? Let's move on because that is said everything right there. It said everything out there. One last thing on Disarray, though. On the Disarray of the world. This one's in Toronto. Canada. My sweet Canada that I came from. I grew up in Canada. Anchor baby. He's an anchor baby in Canada. I grew up a little bit in Florida, a little bit in America. Toronto Pearson International Airport. The CEO, a woman, was asked about the major delays in the airline. Okay, it's a major mess. What are you doing about it? Are you guys even fixing it? It doesn't seem like it. There's delay on delay. Well, they brought the woman CEO out to talk to the cameras and, well, she let him know, don't worry, we're on it. Look at my serious face. Don't you see the girl boss before you? We're on it. We're on the job. Don't worry about it. Media. Don't worry, media. We're fixing the problem, says the woman CEO, Toronto Pearson International. But one camera guy, the camera guy who was filming her say this as she expressed, she told the people, calm down, we're fixing the issue. One cameraman sacrificed his job to give us this beautiful footage we're about to watch. Let's watch. CEO lady trying to explain that everything's fine. Cameraman sacrifices you'll see what I mean by sacrifice his job. What the? Is it muted? What the? And let's watch that beautiful footage.
Done to, and just a final question here: is there any sort of work being done with the airlines in order to get flights actually on time or not delayed as much? Just curious if there's any work happening there.
Yes. So we've seen almost a doubling in terms of improvement on-time performance since last year. That is a reflection of all the work that we've done across the ecosystem together with our partner airlines, with agencies, reducing processing time, reducing wait times, and fine-tuning operations with our air carrier partners. And we see the great results that have come from that.
Wah, wah, wah. The cameraman panned up as she was saying, we're fixing it, everything's fine, to show the screen behind her showing all the delayed and en retard flights. No, it's not. It didn't say the R word, YouTube. Okay, it's French for late or delayed. En retard. A lot of retards out here. Whoa, calm down. Cameraman sacrificed his job as he panned up to show her that the lady was lying. This is the disarray we're experiencing. You got people incompetence and then lying about the incompetence. That's the problem, okay? At least we could fix it if you could say, well, I'm not good at this. This isn't working. Then let's get the right people. Let's get the right skills. But they lie about it. They lie about it and say, everything's fine. Everything's not fine. Everything's in disarray. I wonder if they fired that guy. What's going on with that cameraman? I'd like to know if they went after him for showing the truth, which, by the way, you're not allowed to do. That's a big no-no. Wait, show the truth? I got Lucas, California, here on hold. Welcome, sir. You're on the air.
Oh, hey, Nick.
What's up, Lucas? How you doing?
I wasn't able to get in yesterday call, but you were talking about the conversation with the son, and then and I called in Joel Friday thing to talk to Sean about it.
You're talking about the vulnerable men conversation? It was on the Joel Friday show.
Well, more about my conversation when I called in to him.
Okay. When you called where? When you called Joel?
Yeah, I called. Well, I was talking to Hassan, but I called Joel Friday TV.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're welcome to. If I can reiterate to the chat, so there's a conversation Joel started, and I'm thankful for that, about vulnerable men. Okay, and he expressed, if I may, and let me know, chat, if this is unfair, but essentially, he made the point that it's attractive for a woman to be vulnerable because it shows what she's really going through, and then it gives the man the chance to deal with it, and you see where things are. But on the other side, he said it's fine for, it's that there is a good that can come from being honest with your problems. Let's say you're going through something, you're angry, and the woman sees it all over your face. That in that moment, instead of hiding, which is a weakness, and caring about what she thinks by hiding, which is a weakness, that being honest, there's some good that can come from that. Is that a fair summary of what he was saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Lucas, you said you wanted to make a comment on that. It is a different show, but it's a good conversation, and I wanted to reiterate what's said on the different show so that we could talk about it better here.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. I wanted to just talk about whenever I called in, and I asked Stacey that. Well, I want to first say that
you did call Hassan, who guest hosted Joel's show.
Yeah, I didn't call in to start any chaos or anything. Okay, I didn't because I when I asked her do you love him? She said yes, and then I said, how do you know? And she said, because I don't need him. I need to understand what that means. Because she loves him because she doesn't need him. She knows she doesn't need him. Like, what is? I don't know if you caught that.
I did. What do you think that meant?
I have no idea. That's what I'm asking you. What do you think that meant?
Well, I don't know because she said it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, what's your?
But I've heard it before, and from what I can, glean a little bit of what she meant because I did watch the whole interview with Hassan and his girlfriend Stacey on the Joel Friday TV podcast. It was a guest host moment. He had a guest, and shout out Hassan. I mean, risk taker, started the conversation and got the juices flowing. It was great for that. On the love thing. Go on. Sorry. Go ahead.
I commented on the interview and everything that was uploaded. And
risky.
I say that Hassan has an army now. Like he needs to make his own show. Like I love this show. If Joel called in too and said the same thing, like totally his own show. He did really well.
Totally. So yeah, on the love thing, I mean, it's something she said, so I don't want to read too much into it, but there is
I've never heard a woman say that.
That you don't need someone because if you don't know, Stacey and Hassan, they both watch Jesse and they're aware of what Jesse says about love. And one thing that he's been expressing about love is that the fake emotional love that we all call love is not really love. And one aspect of that false love is this need for someone. And when you need someone in that emotional way, it's actually not love. And so I imagine that she was expressing something like that.
Yeah. It's just, and the reason why I wanted to know because relationships, I really want to know because I was in a 2-year engagement and she pulled the rug under me and everything just flipped upside down. So I want to know, I just called in, I just wanted to clarify that I wasn't calling in a shit of troll. I really wanted to know these,
I don't think you were trolling. In fact,
okay, all right. I don't know.
If anything, everyone was quite gracious and they held back a lot. Everybody held back calling, about this topic. In my opinion, everybody's holding back.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy relationships nowadays and getting into one. And I don't know. I believe it's women that are making it more difficult than men nowadays.
But do you disagree? Okay, I'd like to get to that. Do you disagree with that you don't, when you need someone, you don't really love them? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, for a man, yes, but for a woman, I believe in
okay, so it changed. So with the woman should need the man. So then, what is love?
What is love? I strongly believe that women like, and yeah, I know this is going to sound like Jesse thumping, but it's not, because I've analyzed it, I've studied it. Women are very emotional, so it is difficult for them to even obtain love. So they can't do it on their own. They can't get love on their own because they're so emotional. They don't know, at least the women I've been with, they always need some type of guidance, somebody to say like, no, don't do that.
I see what you're saying, but that's different than love, right? That's just the proper relationship between a man and a woman. And, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this: yeah. Do you think is love expressed differently in a man and a woman? When a woman or a man has love, is it expressed outwardly differently?
You know, that's good. I don't think so. I don't think so. No.
And why? So. And why?
Because they're both on the same. They're both on the same connection. They're both on the same.
Because love is love.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who it's working through, and it looks the same.
Who brought it to the table, though?
It looks the same in anyone who has it. That's kind of what I understand from that.
Do you think? So, who attains the love? Where does the love start?
Well, if you listen to God, it comes downwards from God to man, and then from man to woman.
See, there you go. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay.
But
from man to woman.
What if right? But a woman can also do it on her own, right? She doesn't always, if she's not married and all that.
I don't know. I mean,
so God just leaves her. So God just leaves her to like high and dry. All women all women need a man, and if they don't have one, they're high and dry. God just leaves them high and dry.
Women can obtain peace. No, they can have full, complete peace.
Isn't that love? Isn't that coming from God as well, which is His love?
Well, why did they have two different words then for it? I guess we're just playing a word game.
What two different words?
Well, peace and love are the same, you're saying?
I think love will beget that peace.
I don't know.
An essential, the same love that's guiding the man, right, from God, and giving him the peace, it can guide the woman.
Yeah, I guess. So you're saying women can just, they can have love? I don't know. I feel like they get a little, I mean,
well, it's not about owning love. The thing is, even the man doesn't own the love. It's working through him. Do you see my point? That even the man doesn't have this love, okay? It doesn't own it. It's working through him.
I think it's difficult.
So the same way it can work through a man, it can work through a woman.
Yeah, I think it's difficult in this day and age to differentiate because a lot of men are acting like women nowadays. And, with all these things, they're acting like women. They're complaining just like women. They're like making videos and all that stuff. So it's kind of hard to have differentiate and have this conversation because we're kind of in a different worldview. So it's like, well, you know what? Well, men can act like this because, and women act like this, but men can act like this too. Like, that's how it is nowadays.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
I see your statement, man. I hear you. Yeah, I don't know. It's just my thoughts. That was just my thoughts on love, and I don't think it looks different like that. I agree, men are acting like women, and I don't think you were causing trouble on the call. I think, in fact, most people are holding back a lot. I personally, I actually didn't agree with a single thing Stacey said, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
And I really liked Hassan and how he handled it. I think it was risky in a nice way to really get the conversation going. I don't have any personal thing against Stacey or anything, but I personally didn't agree with a single thing she was saying.
Yeah, that's another thing that why Hassan should have his own show. For him to go on first time like that and put his girlfriend on there, that takes cojones.
Yeah, let's go.
So yeah, he definitely has the drive, obviously, and he took everything well, exactly. And it was a great conversation, great everything. But next time,
definitely check it out. What do you think on the clip? Well, what do you think about vulnerable? I guess your take.
Vulnerable guys. That I like the conversation about getting down to the definition of vulnerability. I mean, I believe I have no problem. See, with me, I have no problem telling everything. Like, I disagree with Jesse about, like, never, ever, ever, ever tell a woman your problems. I disagree with that. I feel like just get it out there, and if she can handle that and take that, then all right, let's keep moving. And she keeps moving in the relationship, then yeah. So like I actually
so
enjoy,
you just throw
like,
so you just like throwing up all your mess and going like, hey, at least I'm being honest.
No,
and
I don't say
you
that.
call that
Hey,
a
at least
good
I'm
thing?
being
You
honest.
call that a good thing?
No, I don't call it good or a bad thing. I just do it because I like to see if the woman.
What good is
wants,
that doing
like, you know,
anybody?
it's not. It's doing good for me because eventually I think it's going to come out. If I'm going to marry.
Okay,
this
then
woman,
let it eventually come out. But why have that mentality of like this is okay?
It's more exciting.
Say again.
It's more exciting. It's just like
because I don't essentially look. If I may reiterate, I don't disagree. I'm talking about Joel's show on vulnerability a week or two ago, and I don't essentially disagree. I can't really find anything to really disagree with what he's saying, because again, to crystallize it, he's saying, well, yeah, you can't be showing weakness and all that, but you are also at the same time we're working on ourselves, and women are going to see you get mad. So when in those moments, can't you be honest instead of hiding? Isn't that weaker, and she'll judge you for that? And I understand that. I don't essentially disagree with that, okay? Because there is good. You can bring light in all situations, okay? That being said, although which is a deep point, by the way, and an essential thing that I think men need to learn. It's essential that men learn this, that you can, even in those situations, bring light. Because in those moments, you can even make that a moment where you grow. And that's beautiful. Because even in those moments of weakness or whatever, you're not the boy. You're still leading the way. And that's beautiful. That's an essential thing men must learn. That being said, what is it that you're doing? Walk me through it. You're saying, yeah, I am mad. And then what? You're so what? You're just putting out mess, and although even in that situation you can bring light, ultimately you want to avoid that, because what is that? Who is that helping? You're just putting out hell. You see you see my point? What's the point of putting out hell? What good is that doing anyone? Instead, I understand why people may not see it this way, but there's a virtue, in my opinion, in pushing it far away. Pushing it deep down until you become an alcoholic, and it's a sacrifice for the. I'm joking about the alcoholic part. I really am, but you see what I'm saying? You're just ruining the confidence in those around you, and you're just putting out hell.
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
Yeah, but like it kind of also helps, like, you know, if you like, and that's why. You know, Joel said that, you know, Stacey is kind of smart because, you know, it does make it comfortable for them to be, you know, open up. You know, if you open up, then it makes them comfortable to open up. And it's kind of like a mutual thing, you know? So, and of course...
No. You will see, you'll see them. You just got to pay attention. You don't have to be opening up in the hopes that, okay, I'm going to do it so that she'll do it. No, you just got to be around them enough. You will see. Just pay attention. And the reason and how to heighten your awareness and your ability to pay attention, know yourself, okay? And you'll see it in her. You don't need to be putting up this show of vulnerability and like this is a safe space, okay? Because people lie even in that, okay? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see. Well, I don't know. I think vulnerability in a man. Yeah, there's a spectrum of it, you know, of like what it could mean. However, I believe vulnerability, you know, just means you know, being open, just being like being open to any conversation, and maybe even you know, starting and directing the conversation. Like, I don't know, just not. I guess you could say careless, maybe, but not like in a bad way. You know, just like just letting the cards fall where they may.
Yeah, I think I see what you're saying.
I just kind of like that. Oh shit! Sorry, there's a June bug that just flew in my face. So yeah, just letting the cards fall where they may.
Right on, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. I just want to clarify about that and all that stuff.
Right on,
And
Lucas.
tell us on and make that show like by next week.
Big time. Context of time. Big time.
All right, man. You have a good day. Good night, man.
Right on, Lucas. Take care. Appreciate your call. I'm a little surprised at some of you in the chat. Like as if this is that tough. Like as if anything I've said is that mean or tough. I was quite, holding back on any of this when this is on the network and it's public and everybody's talking about it. Like, I'm a little surprised at some of you guys. You're like, oh, stop saying their names. Or someone even on the last show said, I wouldn't have played the Hassan clip, but we all saw it. And so I think it's a little silly, because this is like the Bond Network. We're not about feelings or getting worried about hurting feelings. You know what I mean? Is that what you're saying, Ivana? Clout? That I'm just, clout chasing, trying to call me if you disagree. Pretending that yesterday's segment was so deep when it was just a clout opportunity. I appreciate the disagreement. I really do. I want to converse here. But I'm a little surprised. This is the Bond Network. We don't care about feelings, and and women try and take the truth and they change it up. You know what I mean? And there's there's some interesting stuff here in the vulnerability talk. That's really good stuff here. And the conversation has been brought up and it's great. You know what I'm saying? Come on, guys. Because what am I wrong here? I'd like to know. Yeah, David, what are you lost about? David C says, I'm lost. Didn't Hassan invite her on? Yeah. That's what happened. Yeah, Hassan invited her on. She wasn't held hostage. So, yeah, let me know where I'm wrong. 888-775-3773, okay? No, I know I'm fine. I know we're fine, Ivana. We're cool. We're totally cool. I just like the conversation. I know I'm fine, and I know you're fine too. We're fine. Don't worry about feelings, Ivana. I'm asking you what you disagree with. You feel me? Right. It shouldn't be taken so seriously. You know what I mean? I think I've been quite clear. I think I was clear on some stuff here. There may have been some things I'm not clear on, so call me if you disagree. But essentially, on Joel's point, wanted to add to it. I kind of forgot now, but maybe we'll do a breakdown. People are saying in the last video, hey, Nick, would have been best to keep the Hassan clip off your show. That tells me I should do the whole thing. I should do a whole top-down review of it, maybe this Friday. How about that? We'll do a top-down breakdown on exactly what I disagreed with, okay? Dang, Nick rebelling against the chat. Jabrail, thanks for the super chat there. Yeah, I think if this is the response, I think you need to keep pushing ahead, like Trump says. The more a world tells you, the more a broken system tells you you're wrong, you have to keep pushing ahead. And, yeah. What else, y'all? No, maybe I'm misunderstanding. I'm sorry. Any viewers who don't understand what I'm doing right now, I'm kind of responding to the chat, okay? And the chat is kind of mentioning a couple things. Maybe I misunderstood you, chat. I don't know what you were talking about. I don't think that... I'm not saying what you're saying, that she's clout chasing or something like that. I thought you guys were saying I was, okay? I believe what I'm saying, and there's things I disagree with. And the Bond Network people can disagree with each other. That's fine. Anyways, where was I? Disarray. Oh, what should I do next here? Fake trads. We're talking about something similar here. Fake trads. You know what a fake trad is? Take no prisoners, Nick. You know, she's saying, she was like, Hassan asked her about Instagram. Oh, should I delete my Instagram? She's like, oh, yeah, I won't delete. No, it's making me money. She just finished saying, oh, I would be happy if, obeying, submitting to a man and all that. But then they ask her about the Instagram. Would you delete it? No, it's making me money. And you better, and if a man comes around, he better replace that income. Showing how she doesn't want that. It was such an amazing interview. Very revealing. Anyways, what should we do next? Let me move on. We got glorified homewreckers. Let's talk about this. Glorified homewreckers, totally glorified celebrities. We got celebrities here, okay? And it seems like homewrecking is just the most normal thing with these celebrities. Yeah, we're getting a little tabloidy, messy tabloids, but these people are famous. They're in the news, and a lot of people agree with them. It's the scary part. They agree with them, and you got women agreeing with these celebrities. And who am I talking about? There's a couple in the news who are basically they amount to homewreckers, and they're just fine. They have a career. They're doing great work, and they're not doing anything wrong. And they're plastered all over the news with pictures of their new beau. When you realize that the pictures we're seeing of these celebrities are the aftermath of a broken home, and it's glorified, okay? And I know it's tabloidy, it's dumb, but there's this woman, you know her, Ariana Grande. And she's plastered all over my news aggregates, which I check every day to gather the news and stuff. She's plastered all over pictures of her and her new man, Ethan Slater, apparently. I really don't know these people. I don't follow this stuff. But it is all over. It is on my news feeds and all that. And then I noticed something interesting. A trend here. A little trend. This is Ariana Grande. You're seeing her here. Ethan Slater, who I really don't know these people. Apparently they were in a movie together. So that's where they met. They met on set. So romantic. And turns out, though, that this is not just a little hunky-dory relationship that came out of nowhere. Oh, we're just... it's a new flame, new love. You may know Ariana Grande as she's had a dating history that's very public and I don't know, tabloidy or whatever. Right? She dated that Pete Davidson guy, famously dated that rapper who killed himself. Did she kill him? She broke up with him, apparently. Anyways, Mac Miller, okay? It turns out Ethan Slater was married to a woman named Lily J. Here they are. Beautiful Lily. The actor, according to Daily Mail, started dating Ariana Grande, and this Lily J is saying that he abandoned their family. It's been claimed that Slater only told his wife about the new romance shortly before the news was made public, and that she was completely blindsided by the relationship, just months after they welcomed a child together. But this is just celebrities. Oh, it's just the impression I get online and people commenting, they're all like, wow, that's great. It's just the most normal thing. It's another day. It's just a woman finding love. She's just finding herself, and she's exploring love, and it's a beautiful thing. But it's in fact not. It's in fact the most sordid, disgusting thing ever. The destruction of the family and it being glorified. And these women are basically glorified homewreckers. What else is this? Can you tell me this is defined as anything else? How is this anything else but that? Glorified homewrecking. And this is the trend. The trend is, I'll scroll down just past this. I scroll down just past this Ariana Grande story, and I'm met with images of this Megan Fox. You know her. Another glorified homewrecker. Was married to a man, I forget his name, Brian something. Had kids with the man, goes off and leaves him to be with her rock star man, that Machine Gun Kelly guy. And then we hear stories about her putting her sons in dresses and all that. But what gets talked about? What gets talked about? Oh, this drama, or she wore this, or this crazy thing she did with this rock star boyfriend. But it's never that she's a glorified homewrecker. For their own ego, for their own desires. Need to censor that, Nick. Come on. Ooh. What did I show? I just showed, ooh. Was that too, Brian, was that too much? I may have shown Megan Fox wearing too little. But this is the trend of Kim Kardashian. Now, okay, fine. Maybe that's too far. Okay, Kanye West brought it on himself. But I don't know. I don't think so. These women are not these innocent little doves in these relationships, which is the impression and notion that's kind of in the prevailing culture. Innocent people. Yeah. Anyways, this is the trend we're seeing. We're seeing this trend, and it's glorified in the media. It's glorified by the people, and the crazy thing is the comments. Oh, you go, girl. Oh, no. And anybody criticizing these celebrities, the ladies, circle the wagons. They circle the wagons. Yeah. Fake trad. Anyways, I'm done with this segment. Let's move on. I got a call. Austin, Arizona. You're on the air.
Hey, Nick.
What's up, Austin?
Hey, I heard the conversation about women can receive love the same way a man can, and my phone burned up right after that, so I didn't hear anything after that. But
I had a caller who had heard a woman say that she knows she loves someone because she doesn't need that person, and he wasn't quite understanding what that meant. And so I asked him, well, do women and men experience love differently, or if they have love, do they express it differently?
Yeah, and you told him women can receive it the same way a man can.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, I pondered on that, and I still don't know if it's true.
Are you on speakerphone, Austin? Hey, Austin, did I lose you?
No, I'm not on speaker.
All right, no problem. I think I may have lost you, but I hear you again. Austin, you were saying you disagree with the receiving love?
No, I don't disagree. I just I was thinking about it, and I still don't know if it's true or not, is all I'm saying.
All right, what do you think?
But I think it might be a little confusing when you say that. Because even if they can receive it the same way, I don't think it means they get to take on the same role as a man.
Right, but that's different than love.
Yeah.
That's different. Your role and your behavior and what you're supposed to do, that's different. How is that? What does that have to do with love? Help me understand.
No, I see where you're coming from.
And where am I coming from?
that the roles are different, and it ain't the same. It's just what we're supposed to do with that love.
Totally. If I may describe more accurately, I'm trying to express how love essentially can't be love. For love to be love, it must be the same in all people. Because love treats all the same. Love loves all the same. Love, you see what I'm saying here? For love to be love, it has to be the same in all people. Now you may take on different roles because you have a purpose, and your purpose is, okay, I have a family, I have a man leading me, right? And you start falling into the natural positions, and someone who has love will just naturally do that. But do you see how they're kind of separate?
Yeah,
like that's a different topic, I guess, is what I'm trying to describe.
Yeah, I just want it to be clear that it doesn't mean you get to switch roles or anything.
Not
like
at
that.
all. What it does mean? It means that sometimes the woman will do things that you think, well, for example, the man corrects the woman, right?
Yeah.
But actually, it's not. Love corrects. And sometimes, and this is just hypotheticals. These are just hypotheticals. Sometimes a woman has love and an insight into something that a man doesn't. And sometimes that man's her husband. And in that moment, the woman's love will be correcting the man. Does that mean the roles switched?
Well, you said the woman's love will correct the man.
Correct. Does that mean the roles switched?
How does that?
Because you know how we're working on ourselves, and we grew up in a messed up world, a messed up family, and we come together in the wrong way, but sometimes we wake up and we start working on our lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A woman does that too. There's women that come to bond to do that. And sometimes a woman will have an insight into something due to that love that a man doesn't. Do you agree that that's possible? That a woman can love can work through a woman to show a man where he may be wrong about something?
I don't know.
Why?
I mean, I just don't see it. I've never seen it be like that. You know what I mean?
So you don't think that's possible?
I don't know.
That a man can be wrong about something and a woman out of love.
Well, yeah, men can be wrong, yeah. But for a woman to, know to be able to correct them and all that, I don't know about that.
But it's not her. It's just her being an example. Her love shows that.
Yeah,
you're telling me every marriage. Are you saying that there aren't marriages out there where the woman is starting to pay attention on herself and the man hasn't?
I ain't saying it has. It's not out there. I'm just saying I haven't seen it.
So in that situation where that happens, wouldn't the woman be by example showing the man where he's wrong?
Have you seen where that happens?
Yes. They come to church. They come to church.
Oh.
Jesse advises couples all the time about that.
I mean, I've heard
couples
that,
call in and say, "Hey, what do I do if my husband isn't paying attention? He's not a Christian. He doesn't want to do Jesse says, "Well, you don't judge them and let God's love work through you, and you will be an example." Yes, the woman can be an example. Do you disagree?
I don't know.
Then I would say that I don't think you may. Then I would say that maybe you have maybe a wrong view of what love is.
No, well, it's not the woman's love. I know that.
Right, it's not the woman's love. It's God's love.
The same way you say it's not the man's love, it's not the woman's love either.
I'm not saying it's the woman's love. Do you see how you kind of have a hang up there, and you're unable to see that love is, for love to be love, it has to be the same in all people?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It doesn't mean that she leads. It doesn't mean that the roles switched. It doesn't mean that anything's reversed. If you didn't take it personally, her show, let's say you don't know about anger and she does, and she tells you, hey, you should forgive. Isn't she correcting your lack of forgiveness?
I've never heard a woman.
Okay,
really.
Maybe you never heard it, but like I said, it's a hypothetical. And this hypothetical where the woman knows about forgiveness and he doesn't, and he goes up to her and she goes up to him and says, hey, you should forgive. Is she correcting him in that moment?
I guess, yeah.
Exactly. You don't need to have you don't have to have a hang up about it. That doesn't mean the man is under her.
All right. I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
That the roles stay the same.
Yeah, the roles stay the same, Austin. Don't you worry about that. Don't you fret. Okay, you can. Don't worry. Let me confirm for you, Austin. Let me just confirm for you. You can put your worries away. The roles don't change.
All right. You're doing a fine job, by the way.
Thank you, sir. Call me again.
All right, have a good one.
We got to assuage Austin's sensibilities there. So don't worry, the roles don't switch. That's the thing, though. The roles never really switch, and it kind of alludes to what Joel was saying. Let's say the woman is an example and tells you something that's true about you. If you just didn't take it like hard, you would still be the man in that situation, right? Right, y'all? Okay. What's next? On the roles being reversed. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't reverse. For love to be love, it has to be the same. That doesn't negate the order. That doesn't negate the order of God. I'm just describing, real situations where, not everybody's following that order. Sometimes the ladies got it. I see it here at Bond all the time. Some of these ladies are leaving the boys in the dust. Straight up. Some of these Bond ladies, they come in here and they're paying attention to themselves. And they're leaving the fellas in the dust, straight up. It doesn't mean the roles are reversed. It doesn't mean, oh, you think she's over you. Got Your Six says she cannot correct, but she can love by example by sticking to her role. Interesting. Okay. Use of language here may be confusing to some. I didn't examine my usage of correct, but whatever. It's God's love correcting. It's not her, right? Appreciate the support there and the chats and all that. It gets the conversation going. Jabrail, did I say thank you for that super chat, Jabrail? Much appreciated. Thank you for the support. You can super chat here on YouTube. You can super chat on Rumble if you want to send a Rumble rant. Rumble.com/AmericanAnchorBaby. I got Nick, Seattle, Washington. How you doing, Nick?
Hey, man, what's up? I called into Hake's show earlier, and
For sure.
I didn't...
You called my show before?
Hey. Yeah, I have. Yeah.
For sure, I remember. What's up, man?
I just wanted to chime in as far as relationships between men and women go, and how the female vibe is concerned. As someone, I've had multiple relationships with incredibly narcissistic women, and the power that women have over men. If men are not, aware and working on themselves, is incredible.
Say again. Who's working on themselves?
I mean, if men are not working on themselves, like actively working on themselves, like, I would like to hope that, most of the listeners and, most of the people who are tuned into the Bond Network, if you're not a man who's working on yourself, then you're absolutely subject to the evil and satanic powers of women.
If you're not working on yourself, what are you doing? Nothing.
Exactly. You're
what are you
doing
even
nothing.
doing?
Well, obviously, following state.
Yeah, you're not doing anything if you're not working on yourself.
Exactly. And a lot of, I think I've met some guys that, they say they are, they think they are, and they're still, involved in these relationships with women who are absolutely satanic. And I know this may sound kind of hardcore, but dude, women are ribs, bro, period, bottom line.
What do you mean?
Well, it's like, it's women are ribs. They're not of God. God created man and then created, women from man. Not the Bible thump or anything.
Gotcha.
But dude, like, that awareness is so lost. I feel like it's so lost on men these days. And I feel like
that they're like over the woman? Is that what you're saying?
I think no, that men become victimize themselves to the wild, wicked ways of women, because they're not awake, not to say woke.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think
it is a really good kept secret. The nature of women and their opposition against men.
It's just so easy for men to be taken control of by these women.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, why did Adam give in to Eve?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because they're hot, because they're pretty, because they're conniving, because the temptation, they have the power of temptation within them. And whether or not they know, forgive them, Lord, they know not what they do. But like, do they know, or do they not know? I think they might know.
They don't. I don't know. I don't think people really, really know. Because if they really knew, I think they would change.
I think if they really knew, then we're talking about a whole complete shift in mankind.
But in general, all people, I think all people have an idea of how wrong they are, but they don't really know the depths. And if they did, they would change, I think.
I mean, I work in the city. I see beautiful women all around me all day long, and only once I started doing hardcore self-work after I discovered Bond and whatnot did I realize like how hard I was giving in to the effeminate ways of temptation and whatnot, man. And I still have friends who will they'll slut around and give in to the ways of these women. I've got a really good friend. He believes, he said, I believe in God. I believe in, Jesus and whatnot. But, at the same time, he'll still involve himself sexually with women who are, all about tarot cards and crystal gripping and whatnot. And I tell him, dude, like, look, man, like, I respect you. You're my homeboy or whatnot.
Do you have a girlfriend or a wife or something?
No, I do not. I do not have a girlfriend or a wife. And I was recently up until about a year ago, I was dating.
Okay, so you were in it. You were in the trenches.
Yes, definitely.
So you know how easy it is to give in.
Absolutely. I mean, sex out of wedlock. Oh my goodness! Like, don't talk to me about it. I'm trying to get away from it.
So you know very well. Yeah, I'm not nowhere near higher, holier than thou coming from me either at all. Trust me. I can't even say.
I was trying, dude. I was trying so hard, to meet women all the time and whatnot. Dates all throughout the week. What Jesse has talked about, like how he, used to have like he would have to have a woman waiting in the wings if he broke up with a woman. Like, I resonated with that so hard, so hardcore.
Totally,
And
man. Yeah, you know, we all know quite well, but that's your friends.
I feel
you
bad
understand
about
what your
it, man.
friends. You understand what your friends are going through then.
Exactly, you know, and
How
I don't
easy
judge.
and almost
I'm not here
knee-jerk
to
reaction
judge.
it is to give in to the woman.
Of course,
It's
of
our
course, you know?
it's our curse. It's our kings, great kings before us, brought to their knees by a woman.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, it's so easy, you know, oh, gosh, this, you know, pretty concierge who flirts with you, you know, every time you go through this building or whatnot, you know, to make a delivery. And at least for me as a bike messenger, you know, like, and it's like so easy to be like, oh, gosh, you know, maybe I got some play here or maybe I got some play there. It's
so true. So when you say play, you mean when you're talking to a woman and you see that you have a, like an in, you have a way in?
Yes.
It's so true.
And
I've heard this
it's
before.
a bottomless hole. It's like diet soda, man. Sure, you know, it tastes sweet and whatnot, but it's just even worse.
Some call that demonic and black magic. There's a guest we're going to have this Friday.
Absolutely.
We're going to have a guest this Friday on the Fallen State who calls picking up women tantamount to black magic manipulation.
And you know what, my good buddy Dan, another bike messenger, he's actually the other bike messenger in the city who's a conservative that turned me on to JLP.
Nice.
We got
that
this.
bike messenger network out there.
I mean, there's a few of us, man. There's a few of us. Most bike messengers are libtards, but there's a few of us who are based. We try to be, at least, you know. I mean, and me and him talk about that, about how these women, you know, like Satan works through them. And you just see this pretty face and a sweet smile when really it's just Satan smiling at you.
Man.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah. No, when you're saying when a woman smiles at you and then you smile back and then your Satan smiles back.
Exactly. And my personal opinion on that is like, give them that smile. Sure, you smile back. You be kind, but there's a great power, and you feel it once you start practicing it. When you let go of those feelings of lascivity, is that a word? Lascivious? I know lascivious is a word, but I don't know if lascivity is a word. Lascivious, it's like lustful, shallow behaviors that are sexually oriented.
Yeah.
So, you know, you give back that smile, and you can give two different kinds of smiles back to that demon. You know, you can smile back and
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
hey,
totally.
Or you can smile back like almost like a Christ-like way.
Right,
and,
you're just smiling.
You know, hey,
she's your sister.
Exactly.
You're just smiling at your sister.
You're my sister. You're not prey. You're not sexual.
You're a sexual object. Yeah, you know, I see what you're saying, though, man. I myself as well, I don't know if I'd say tired, but, you know, I'm done with all this giving in to the woman and all that. I'll watch, like, some videos, for example, some guys, they'll be like, oh, this is how you pick up women. And they'll go out, and the first thing they say to a woman is, you're so beautiful. I don't know about you guys. I don't take this as advice. This is definitely not Riz advice on how to pick up women, but I'm, like, at a point where I don't even want to call a woman pretty. You know what I mean?
No way.
You know what I mean? It's
no
like
way.
we all have eyes. We all have eyes and we know things. Okay, you don't need me to tell you. That's enough. That's enough ego. Okay, I don't even want to call a woman pretty. So I judge people on their Riz if that's their opening line. You're so pretty. I'm like,
If you ever see like an old man, like an elderly male, speak to women. You know, just in your day to day, that's how you should be.
Like a baller, like an old G. Yeah, like a G. Like how you doing, lady? And really just small talk, but the style, the vibe. I feel like I know exactly what you're talking about. I hope we're on the same page here. But there's something to the vibe and the style, the charisma. It just it oozes.
You see an old guy with his suspenders and his flannel T-shirt on and his glasses and pen protector in the hardware store, and you know he's talking to some nice young lady. He's like, "Thank you, darling," blah blah blah, and there you go. You know, sure. And if you Yeah.
Unc holding it down.
And in my experience, and I'll cut this short, but in my experience recently, as I've been practicing this, you see a difference in the way women act when you treat them that way. When you treat them in a way that is like not like you're trying to hit on them or flirt with them or whatnot, you see this different woman come out from inside, and you can almost see perhaps maybe a flirtatious woman who's a little bit, like on that tip. You see her change. And that's the woman that men should be looking for. I don't know. Maybe
I think
not.
I know what you mean, man, because I think you're supposed to be everybody's daddy. All women, because there's something about what you're saying. And I've seen it myself, men who they really, truly put aside any, it's clear that they have no intention for sex and anything, and the relationship changes. It's a little more wholesome.
Truly wholesome.
And she also adopts a more wholesome behavior. I've seen it. I think I know what you're talking about.
I think that's a good example of how men can lead women in a lot of different fashions. I don't know.
But it requires your vigilance. It requires your vigilance as a man. You can't. You're gonna get that pull to, wow, she's so cute and she's like so wholesome. Let me have sex with her.
Yes.
And you ruin it.
Yes.
You destroy it.
Stuff your second head in the locker and think with your real head.
Calm down. Calm down with the head talk.
Of course. Yeah, metaphorically.
Right on, Nick. Anything else, man? I'm going to move the wheels, sir.
No, man. Thanks, dude. I'll let you turn the wheels. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Moving the wheels as Nick is moving his wheels, the bike messenger. Holding it down, right? The lifeblood of cities? I was going to say of America, because those are the truckers. Are they the lifeblood of the cities? Ladies, let me play you a video. Ladies in the chat, do you think there's anything wrong with this video? And for a little bit of context, there is a man, he goes by Blueface. He's a rapper. He's a rapper with some fame to him. You may know his song, Bust Down, Tatiana. I want to see you bust down. Sorry. I find that song funny. But yes, Blueface Baby, right? They call him that. I don't call him that. He says, bust down, Tatiana. I want to see you bust down. Pick it up and break that down. Silly. Blueface has a public, more tabloidy mess. This rapper has a public and very, very messy public relationship with another female rapper named Krishan Rock, okay? And they've had a very public and messy relationship of fighting, leaving black bruises on each other, okay? This woman, you could say, I've seen some footage. I'm kind of black. I'm kind of black and tabloidy and messy. Okay, fair enough. You could judge me. I watched some of this, and Blueface is holding back a lot. She'll be slapping him. Messy. Both sides. Messy, okay? Really, don't take sides here. You really shouldn't. That being said, she got pregnant recently. And there's this video that kind of went viral. Ladies, do you think there's anything wrong with what Blueface said to pregnant Krishan Rock in this video we're about to watch? Ladies, do you see anything wrong with this? Let's play that footage.
So I'm stuck. I'm very much stuck.
You're not stuck with me.
I'm not stuck with you at all. I know. Stuck with a child bite. Just shut up. Stop talking to me. Because I have business. Can we talk later?
Can you hug me? Can you stop?
Can you stop? Anything wrong with how he acted, lady? What do you think? Fellas, too, you want to jump in? What do you think? Is there anything wrong with the way he acted or what he said? She got preg from slapping? No, that's not how she got pregnant, Emperor of Cats. I don't think that's how she got pregnant. Blueface is the dude, Hake. Blueface is the dude. She's pregnant by she is pregnant by him. She's holding, they are unmarried. And he's saying Do we need more context to this mess? I don't think you need any more context besides, that he got her pregnant and it's messy. And they're not married. And he's telling her in this video, I'm stuck. I'm stuck because I got you pregnant. But I'm not stuck with you.
I'm very much stuck.
You're not stuck with me.
I'm not stuck with you at all. I know. I'm stuck with a child by you. Just shut up. Stop talking to me. Come because I have business. Can we talk later?
Can you hug me? Can you stop?
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But that ugly face girl, can you stop? Can you stop? Or ugly cry? I shouldn't laugh. But did he do it? Is that mean? Is he being mean, chat? Is that just way too far? Nothing wrong, says Got Your Six. Dang, we got some alphas in the chat. That guy is beta for being with her. Blue beta. Okay, fair enough. Cots, fair enough. So is he mad at the baby or her? I don't know, Esoteric. You may just have anger, and you know what that is. You're mad at everybody. You just anger will destroy everybody. Shout out to The Weeknd. Yeah. Shout out to The Weeknd. You will enjoy, hopefully not, you will enjoy this episode's monetization will go to you, The Weeknd. Maybe I shouldn't have played so much of his music. Shout out to The Weeknd. This episode's yours. Maybe. Suffer, says Got Your Six. He did nothing wrong, says Carlota. Do we have a female in the chat agreeing with him? Mess, blue mess. Okay, fair enough. It's messy. This is ghetto LMAO. He's saying the quiet part out loud, says Ivana. The ladies in the chat are quite based. In fact, this goes to my caller this goes to my caller about examples and maybe even correction. The ladies in my chat here, let's be honest, y'all. You got to love the ladies in the chat. They're quite based. I would even say they might even be examples. Ivana here is agreeing with him that he's saying the quiet part out loud. As messy, as that mean as it may sound, can we really say he's wrong? Patriot girl. My chat ladies rock. I have the best chat ladies. Based ladies in the chat. Patriot girl agrees with him 100%. Totally, Nicole. The stuff being recorded and the messiness. Obviously, it's for clicks and they have their reality TV shows and it's messy. I get it. But is he wrong? And that's the kind of a point I want to make here. Guys, you're not subject to the woman. Doesn't matter what situation you got yourself in. And yeah, Blueface has it. I'm sure they have their own issues, okay? We don't know all the details. And that's not important here. We're not trying to get into all that. But you're not stuck with anything. You just have to do the right thing. But a lot of people have you thinking, a lot of men, a lot of women have you thinking that you're stuck with her. This woman who's trying to, rope you into her mess, into her hell? When you see that it's evil. Ivana says, his life flashing before his eyes, that's all. Animus totally disagrees. What do you mean? Do you disagree with Blueface? Animus says, he might talk out loud what's on his mind, but that's not helping at all. I don't know. I'm starting to think this is a little bit, I'm seeing this notion, this spirit in the chat of being kind of soft on certain things, like even talking about vulnerability in men, like I can't have a different opinion here, like I don't know, cloud chasing. He might talk out loud, but he might say what's out loud on what's on his mind, but that's not helping at all. But it's the truth. You got to say how at least you know where you stand. Isn't that more helpful than lying and keeping it to yourself? At least she knows where he stands. They have their own issues. They have their own responsibilities. She shouldn't have gotten with him like that. He shouldn't have gotten her pregnant. But you're not stuck, fellas. You're still a man. You're still an individual. You can still make things right. That doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying? Like being enslaved to a woman just because you made a mistake doesn't mean you gotta. You're already paying for it. You're already paying for it. You already created a child out of wedlock. That kid is going to pay for it big time. The evil is already happening. But you're not, as mean as it sounds, as mean as this clip looks, you're not stuck. You really aren't. Okay? What else, y'all? We'll just get into some random stuff here. What else do I have? A big list of links here. Oh, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's totally switch gears. Last bit of the show here. Let's totally switch gears. Let's move on. Ukraine hoax. Check this out. You guys see this? Revolver News shared this. Headline reads, Sky News shares alarming video of Ukraine war scene that has one very phony-looking moment. Whoa. What's Revolver News referring? Well, there was a Sky News segment that apparently showed a clip of the aftermath and some of a bombing in Ukraine. And this building there's debris everywhere. And you got people, workers picking up the debris, okay? And in this Sky News segment, the two anchors or whatever are talking in front of a screen, and behind them, this big screen is playing this footage that I'm talking about. There's one moment in this footage that people are saying is a little too weird for them. A little too weird for their tastes. It doesn't pass the smell test. Okay? They're a little dubious on the footage they're seeing. They're saying, let's see if you guys can pick out what the people are saying. They're a little incredulous about the validity of this video. Let's watch this footage and see if you guys can pick it out. You see the two anchors talking. The video in question is playing behind them.
Zelensky was very angry at the attack on Odessa overnight. And
picking up debris.
That, they will defeat the Russian evil. And I wonder how he'll plan to do that. Odessa's been the target, but is it...
You guys see that? You guys miss it? Let me rewind it a bit. Here we have the ladies picking up debris. You see anything odd or funny?
And I wonder how he'll plan to do that. Odessa's been the target, but is it just...
Hold up! Carlota says, why would the MSM lie? And let me just say this right now. Let me just debunk this right now. And I know the mainstream media lies. I know there's all this mess, but this got debunked. Community Notes got in there and they gave let me just show you the Community Notes, which is a function on Twitter where human individuals will look at information and then give context and give links and correct wrong information, misinformation and whatnot. And it looks like this post here got a Community Notes and a debunking of this video. Because there's a lot of fake stuff out there, guys. And we get our emotions and everything all excited, and we see things, and then we go along with excitement. And we go along with the people saying that this is fake, when you should have left a little space, a little wait and see. Because don't get me wrong, this looks weird. Look at them. If you don't understand, if you missed it the first time, these two workers seem to be picking up what looks like heavy concrete debris. And they pick it up like it's nothing. Feathers. Of course, everyone said, fake. But the Community Notes are here to save the day. The Community Notes are here to save the day in a higher quality footage where it is revealed that these pieces are, in fact, like construction foam, construction styrofoam, as you can see right here. So it's in fact debunked. That was fake news, okay? The whole thing is still legitimate, and the war is legitimate, and the reasons we're there is legitimate, and there's no lies, because clearly there's a hoax. Clearly that was a hoax. Obviously being a little sarcastic here. It's funny the media would love to point to this situation to say, look at all these hoaxes and lies said about Ukraine, like as if debunking this video legitimizes Ukraine and the whole thing at all to the American public. So that's a little bit of what's it called? education to inform a little, a little PSA to inform those who thought this may have been real, and and legitimize Ukraine, I guess. Speaking of what's real, what isn't, legitimizing stuff and all that, it seems like the military recently legitimized something that has been maligned a lot by the media, and anyone talking about this gets banned. A community notes gets their video deleted. I'm talking about the �💐💂💏. That that little thing they had the American public take. That little piece of rushed technology to combat the very deadly pandemic that happened. You guys know what I'm talking about. Well, talking about this and the possible negative effects from it, alleged negative effects. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is comedy, YouTube. I'm a comedian. Talking about the alleged effects, well, you were not only banned, censored, you were just seen as a crazy person by your friends and family. It looks like the military is saying a little something here. And the thing about the military, you got to understand, is that they don't lie on some things. But for example, like, you want to know what's the best way to train someone and build them up and make them responsible, somewhat. What's the best method to grab someone off the street? Anyways, what you want to know what's the best way to grab someone off the street and with a pretty high achievement rate, turn them into a responsible person that can fight and kill? Go to the military. They're not going to lie about that because the consequence would be dying. Same thing goes. So, you can trust them. You can trust their word on some things a little bit. Same thing goes with this, �💐💂💏 stuff. They're saying the big M word, myocarditis. Epic Times cases, myocarditis soaring amongst U.S. service members. I'm just reporting the news. I'm a comedian reporting the news. I don't know what I'm talking about. But the military themselves are saying they have a quite large increase in this myocarditis business. Huh? What's going on? What's all this? They're not gonna, just putting it out there, guys. You guys can go find it. You guys can go do your own research, okay? Just putting it out there. Do your own research. But anyways, y'all, that's been the show. I appreciate you being here with me today. We got another show for tomorrow, Thursday, American Anchor Baby at noon. Don't miss it. And I think we got a very special show getting in the works here for Friday, coming together. You don't want to miss it. Friday, 4 p.m. We got another flight coming up. It'll be great. You definitely don't want to miss that one. Got some good shows coming up this week to end off the week. That was Wednesday. Hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow, American Anchor Baby. What else? That's all, y'all. Bible Thumper Thursday, guest hosted by the crew on the JLP show. And, of course, more Hake Report and all that. Appreciate you guys being with me. As always, a pleasure. See you guys tomorrow.